Hi, my name is Larry Miller. I'd like to thank you for clicking on the link about the store shrink diagnosis audit. You know, customers tell us all the time, we're doing a lot of things. We're auditing, we have cameras, we have front end controls, we have backdoor controls, but our shrink is still too high. And the best way to get profit to the bottom line, you know and I know, is to reduce the expense of store operating shrink. It's a whole lot easier than growing sales 3 or 4%, and the returns can be equal to or better than. So we've designed a unique shrink loss diagnosis audit to check all the facets in your stores that could be causing, allowing, or enabling shrink loss unknown to you. Because most shrink right now that you're experiencing is an unknown shrink. We're going to try to make it known together and then implement best practices to stop that shrink loss. So we begin with understanding where your shrink is. We come in with a 4-man team, a 3 or 4-man team. We come in with a 3-man team, audit 3 or 4 or 5 of your stores that you direct us to go to, and we identify and reveal what's causing your shrink. Everything inside the 4 walls of the stores are examined. Perishables is an emphasis, backdoor is an emphasis, front-end controls an emphasis, all your known loss factors, and then we'll interview store managers, department managers, supervisors, and the key executives to understand your culture, because much of the shrink that you have is systemic. It's caused by the whole culture of how we operate stores and the practices we either implement with excellence or don't implement. So our first job is to understand exactly where your shrink is. Secondly, we have to understand the root causes. Sometimes you have many programs, but actually they're not being implemented most effectively, or they're not the right programs for your stores. You acquired those programs, you built those programs, but they're just not effective in your operation. So we identify the root causes. We do a gap analysis to identify exactly how much money in profit dollars you're leaving on the table. We do that assessment against best practices implementation versus what you have today. Your practices versus best practices, your shrink versus what we project can be your new shrink levels, meaning your new profit levels, and we assess exactly what the return on the investment could be if best practices were implemented in your stores. So that's the gap analysis. But the next step is most important, and that's our recommendations. Our recommendations are the profit roadmap we will draw for you, specifically what is to be done in order to reduce your shrink over time. So it's not just quick hits again. We develop a profit improvement roadmap for you that's very specific and tailored to your unique needs. That whole program comes out in the form of a written book. Once the audit report is done and you and we equally understand what's causing your shrink and what cures could be put in place to get you immediate and sustainable results over time, we will present that to you in the form of a PowerPoint presentation on site as well as written reports. This report becomes yours. It's your product that you bought and purchased and paid for. So if you want to just implement it on your own, that's fine. But what we really prefer is for you and us to engage on implementing the best practices for immediate and sustainable shrink reduction and profit improvement results. The impact of the shrink loss diagnosis audit is to reveal what you're missing, why your shrink is still higher than you want it to be. If you're interested in learning more about where your shrink is in your stores and what you can do about it, please give me a call. My name is Larry Miller. I'm the president of the Retail Control Group. You can reach me on my personal cell at 602-448-8500, or you can email me at larry@retailcontrol.com, or you can visit our website always at retailcontrol.com. I look forward to helping you identify where your shrink is and what we can do together to reduce it.